Sara invested for 10 years and stopped. Thomas invested for 30 years and never stopped. Sara ends with more money. This is not a trick. This is compound interest. And the single most important fact about it is the one nobody tells you before you start. The first 10 years look like nothing is happening. That is not a sign it is not working. That is exactly how it works. This is what NTM told us, the technical layer behind the philosophy. Next 10 minutes, the real year-by-year compound interest timeline, why most investors quit during the most important phase, and the one decision that determines whether you end up like Sara or Thomas. By the end of this video, you will never see the boring years the same way again. Most people who stop investing do not stop because they ran out of money. They stop because nothing visible is happening. Year 1, 3,600 euros invested. Portfolio, 3,888 euros. The gain is 288 euros. 288 euros. A decent dinner for two. That is the reward for a full year of discipline. Year 5, 18,000 euros invested. Portfolio, 21,879 euros. Gain, 3,879 euros. A nice holiday. 5 years of showing up every single month, and the reward is one holiday. This is the moment most people quit. The brain sees this and concludes, this is not working. The brain is wrong. It is measuring the wrong variable. It is measuring how much has happened. The right variable is how much is building underneath. Invisible, compounding, exponential. Loss of patience is not the same as loss of money, but the brain cannot tell the difference. This is why most investors quit during the most important phase of the entire process. Chapter 1, the race begins. Sara's boring decade, age 25 to 35. From here, the whole episode is one race. Sara in one lane, Thomas in the other. Same 300 euros per month. Same 8% market. The only difference, when they start. Sara starts at 25. Thomas is not investing yet. His lane sits empty for the first 10 years. Sara's year 5, 18,000 euros in, 21,879 euros on screen. The gain is one holiday. Her friends are buying cars. Her lane looks almost flat. This is the boring decade, and she stays in it. Sara's year 10, age 35. Her portfolio reaches 54,864 euros, and then she stops. New job, new city, new priorities. She never invests another euro, but she leaves the money in the market. That same year, Thomas finally starts. His lane begins at 0, exactly where Sara's began 10 years ago. Chapter 2. The chase, Sara 35 to 50, Thomas 35 to 50. Now the race gets interesting. Thomas is contributing 300 euros every month. Sara is contributing nothing. Every year, Thomas pours new fuel into his lane. Sara's lane runs on compounding alone, and for years, Thomas gains ground. His contributions push his line up steadily. Sara's line grows only by its own returns. Anyone watching the race at this stage would bet on Thomas. He is working. She is not. But watch what Sara's lane is doing. Her 54,864 euros is doubling, silently. At 8%, money doubles roughly every 9 years, according to Vanguard's long-term return research. While Thomas contributes, Sara's early start is multiplying underneath. Thomas is adding money every month. Sara's money is adding itself, and her head start means it has more of itself to add. Chapter 3. The finish line, age 65. 20 years into the race, Sara's untouched portfolio crosses 118,000 euros. Thomas is still climbing, still contributing, still behind. 30 years in, both are 65. The race ends. Freeze the frame. Sara's final portfolio, approximately 552,000 euros. She invested 36,000 euros total. 10 years of contributions, finished 3 decades ago. Thomas's final portfolio, approximately 447,000 euros. He invested 108,000 euros, 3 times more than Sara, every month for 30 years, never missing one. The overtake never happens. Thomas contributes 3 times more money and never catches her. Sara wins by 105,000 euros because she started 10 years earlier. That is the entire message of compound interest in one race. The winner is not decided by who contributes more. It is decided by who starts first. If this is the first time the timeline has looked this honest, hit like. It helps more investors find exactly this kind of breakdown. Chapter 4. What the math is actually saying. The Sara versus Thomas result is not magic. It is arithmetic. Sara's 10 years of early investment gave her money 35 additional years to compound after she stopped contributing. That money compounded on itself. Returns generating returns, year after year, decade after decade. Thomas's 30 years of contributions gave him more money invested, but 30 fewer years of early compounding on his first contributions. The first euro Thomas invested at age 35 had 30 years to compound. Sara's first euro had 45 years. According to Vanguard research on long-term compounding, the doubling time at 8% annual return is approximately 9 years. Sara's first year of contributions doubled 3 times between when she started at 25 and when Thomas started at 35. That head start, those 3 doublings, is what Thomas never recovered. The mathematical conclusion: the cost of waiting 10 years to start is not 10 years of missed contributions. It is 10 years of missed doublings. On a long enough timeline, that gap cannot be closed by any amount of additional contribution. Act 4. Mike's approach plus close, 5:45 to 7:30. Mike Petry has talked about the boring years on Nobody Told Mike. The years when the portfolio barely moves, the contributions feel wasted, the market drops and stays down for months. The temptation in those years is to stop, to redirect the 300 euros per month to something that feels more immediate. A holiday, a car upgrade, something visible. But the boring years are not the problem years. They are the foundation years. Every contribution in year 3 and year 5 is not generating a visible return yet. It is buying time, and time at 8% compounding is the only asset that cannot be purchased later. That is what Mike Petry calls modern financial philosophy, the gap between what feels productive and what actually is. The portfolio in year 5 does not feel like it is working. It is working harder than it will ever look in year 5. At the start of this video, I said you would never see the boring years the same way again. Here is why. The boring years were never boring. They were the years Sara won the race, before anyone could see her winning. The reframe worth keeping. You are not waiting for compound interest to start. It started the day you invested your first euro. You just cannot see it yet. Here is the question for the comments. What year of investing are you in right now? And are you in the boring phase or the explosive phase? Drop it below. If this changed how you think about the years you cannot see yet, subscribe here for more NTM explainers. And watch Mike explain the full financial philosophy on Nobody Told Mike, link below.